Hello everyone and welcome. I'm
Certainly glad you could join us today.
As today it's going to be a very special video. I have today this M&M's kit, milk chocolate flavor of course, because I'm not a fucking psycho. No hating on dark chocolate, I know it's healthy, it tastes a little bitter. I have this Haunted Shack chocolate cookie kit, which is the Halloween equivalent of a gingerbread house. And today we're going to be assembling it on camera. So it has some directions on the back, and of course since it is a kit, it has basically everything I'll need to use in order to make this kit. For example, it's got the pre-baked chocolate cookies, the icing pens, the ready-to-use purple icing, M&Ms, decorative paper pieces, and a piping bag so that you can eject the frosting and basically use it as an adhesive between all the cookie panels. It's the equivalent of like putting that concrete in between bricks when you're laying them out. We got our materials in here. And look at that. We got a free... It comes alongside some M&M candies, so I guess I could eat that later today, but there's a good chance I may be using it all for this project. The cookies don't seem to be damaged at all, so that's fantastic. I have the icing tubes, some purple icing in here, which is, I mean, it's solid. It's pretty compact. And then of course I have the little frosting ejection cone, the piping bag they call it. So we got what we need. Now I just need to go and do all the prepping for it. Actually, there's directions on the back. Let me read the prepare stage. Number 1, remove cookies from packaging. I don't really know how the hell you could build the damn house in the packaging. And use a butter knife to gently separate cookies along the scored markings. Knead icing pouch for 1 minute to a soft, smooth consistency. Stand the piping bag in a tall glass and pull down over edge to hold open. Cut corner from icing pouch and fill piping bag with purple icing. Twist the top to close and cut a small tip. Cut a small tip off each icing pen. It says use a butter knife. I don't know how the hell you're going to do this with a steak knife, because you make one small mistake, your house is done. Now thankfully it's not going to be like Squid Game where if you make one wrong cut you're getting shot in the fucking face. But I suppose it's better. We have a lot of frosting here, so it could most certainly be used as some sort of we have some frosting here, so it can undoubtedly be used as some sort of a adhesive to fix the darn thing. So let's just cut this open and just try not to pierce the cookies. I should probably get a paper towel because this is gonna get a little messy. So you can see here that the cookies, you can see here that there's 2 separate cookies that are merged together, so I have to cut along this line right here. Now, it should be worth noting, I don't have a good history with like gingerbread houses or like any assembling kit of this kind. In elementary school, there'd be little events where you can actually use the little milk cartons that they would sell in the cafeteria as a sort of a base, a structure to hold up the gingerbread house. I never did terribly good at those because the frosting provided for such a poor adhesive. It was very messy, it got everywhere, and my fingers were feeling like I came in them by the end of the night. So it wouldn't be a fun process. But now that I'm older, I'm thinking that, you know, this could be more fun. Hopefully I could have a lot more finesse and be more careful with it, so this could be different. Alright, so I've broken apart the cookies. So now I have to knead the icing pouch for 1 minute. Gonna feel like I'm a pizza chef in a moment. Okay, so we've now kneaded this little icing, or this frosting. It's nice and malleable and flexible. It almost feels like one of those ice packs that elementary school they would give you whenever you get hurt and start crying like a bitch. You know, it's always so satisfying just to play around with it, you know, just like keep messing with it. I like messing around with things, very tactile things you can feel, things you can touch. I think I'm using that word correctly, I don't know. I've had plenty of experiences where I've misused terms throughout my life. In one of my previous videos, I mentioned that I cross-dress quite a lot.
Will become a compulsive cross-dresser. I cross-dress a lot. I honestly don't give a shit, so I guess this applies to me.
Cross-dressing can also mean you wear masculine and feminine clothing.
I would think that mean more.
I confused that with cross-branding, not realizing that cross-dressing meant dressing up like the opposite gender or sex. So I definitely don't do that. I'm just gonna clarify right here on the spot, put it out there. I don't do that. I cross-brand. That's what I meant. And then I just squeeze it all in here. Ugh. Right now, at the moment, it's smelling like kind of like birthday cake frosting. The very distinct sugary smell, of a food that you should only approach once every year, and that is only on your birthday. It's not good for your gut, basically, is what I'm saying. If you consume large quantities of sugar. I'm getting purple frosting everywhere, man. It's like Grimace just fucking shit all over me. That honestly does just taste like cake, cupcake frosting. I got my piping bag ready, so now I just gotta cut off the tip from these little pens. Decorate the shack with the icing pens and purple icing as desired. And it has a helpful hint alongside this direction. Hint, squeeze a dollop of icing and use a spatula to cover or to spread over larger areas. Apply M&M's milk chocolate candies, paper door, and window piece to shack as desired. Use icing to adhere. The chimney piece will be positioned after the shack is built. Note, you will have plenty of icing to decorate, but save a half of the purple icing to build your shack. Allow decorated pieces to set for 15 minutes before building. So I'm probably gonna have to stop this recording for 15 minutes just to get this shit all set up. Okay, so now it's the decoration stage. I'm just gonna follow the cover design because I can't toil. I can't spend too much time on camera toiling over about what I'm gonna do and what I'm not gonna do. So in short, basically the design process takes a fuckload of time, and I don't have that kind of time to do that on camera. So now I'm just gonna take some icing. Okay, I've never really used frosting pens before, so don't give me shit for this, please. Okay, that's one panel done. Look at this, see? You can see I have it ridged with the frosting. It's not perfect or pristine by any chance, but it's the best we could do right now. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and do that same thing, for the other side, and let that settle for a little bit. And then I'll get back to you when the whole process is all done. Okay, cutting ahead more like 30 minutes later, the kitchen counter is just an utter mess right now at the moment. I got the decorations on. I'm pretty sure that these ones, the frosting on these two panels, are already fully set in, and they're pretty much almost solidified at this point. I added the M&Ms just within the past 5 minutes. I worked on these windows right here. This one looks like shit because evidently the black icing pen managed to unclog itself, and it just released a torrent of liquidy icing on the fucking thing that got everywhere. So I had to clean it up a little bit. It still doesn't look good, but we're just gonna have to make do. And then I finally took notice to this little design right here of the spiders and all the these covered windows, and it's like I want to do that, but it's like I don't know if I really want to at the same time for, just for time's sake. There's no way that this was their first time doing it, by the way. I'm pretty sure an actual skilled human being who had experience with squirting icing and frosting out of these little damn tubes made this. So, yeah, I feel like it looks pretty good right now. I'm just going to give it about 15 more minutes. Or rather 10 more minutes, just to let everything else settle in, because these ones are good to go, I'm pretty sure, but the rest of these, that's the important part. Okay, so it's been an hour since I cut the camera, but all the pieces are decorated now, so the only step that lies ahead now is to assemble the entire final product, and I'll be doing so on this little piece of cardboard that came with the cookies for the assembly. So I'm thinking to prevent everything from just repeatedly buckling and collapsing, I will of course be applying frosting to the very bottom, just to outline the base so that they actually have something to stick to and stand on, and then I'll move to putting frosting, applying it to all sides so that they stick together. Everything is set in to my knowledge. I gave it everything more than enough ample time to settle, so this should be good to go now. I'll just start with this piece right here. Very basic design, just basically followed the cover version. Applied some M&Ms where the gables are in the roof, and put this little basic door shape right here at the bottom. For the other side panel, I did basically the same thing, just without the door, and attempted to do a spiderweb design on this, but it ended up looking more like a Ferris wheel or a pinwheel there. So, I mean, there was an attempt. It was really difficult to squeeze out all this icing right here. So, cut me some slack, okay? So, now it's time to start frosting the sides so that we can actually assemble this whole thing together. And I'm going to start at the bottom. I'm going to be using a lot because I don't want to risk this thing falling back down over and over and over again because I went too light on the frosting. And I have more than half of this stuff left, so this should be more than enough to continue because they recommend you keep at least half to assemble everything else. So I'm just going to stand this up right here and just hope that nothing keeps on falling over. I just decorated the wrong side of the cracker, so now I have to have what was supposed to be the exterior facing on the interior. So one of these sides are going to be just bland as hell. That's not bad, except that some of this looks like it's ready to bow out and collapse. So I'm just going to give you the final look at it before it ends up doing so. Just a nice little rotating shot, just showing you what I've done as far as decoration, with the exception of one of the faces, because I evidently decorated on the wrong side. So one of these sides are going to be empty, but hey, I accidentally got a little bit of purple frosting on it, so it's not going to look completely bland. Overall, I think it looks kind of good. I mean, for all the troubles I went through to make it, I mean, look how messy this whole counter is as a result. There's just frosting everywhere, crumbs and bits and pieces. This paper towel almost looks like a freaking painter's board. I forgot what you call those things, but it's just a mess. I can't say I'm disappointed. It was a little frustrating at times, but I can't say I'm entirely disappointed. Oh yeah, and I only did forget to mention that they have these little extra decorative things right here. These little cutouts that you can basically glue to your structure to decorate it and add more life into it. It's just the different M&M characters chilling in a cabin. For example, this one is he has a tray of cookies right here in the window, and this one right here, I don't know if that's his girlfriend or something, but they're having a jolly time wearing a Santa hat when this is supposed to be a Halloween kit. I don't get that. And then you have a couple other scenes, Christmas scenes once again. But I'm not going to be doing that because I feel like if I do, it's gonna make everything look too crowded. And additionally, I'm probably gonna knock everything down in the process before I want to. Now that everything is pretty much finished, I mean, the final product is, this is almost as complete as you can get. Granted, without any of these stuck on there. The only other thing now to do is to eat it, to taste it, and in the process destroy it. So you really are, when you make a kit like this, someone just dropped it, you really are enjoying the fruits of your labor. So here we go. I guess the only other thing that's left to do is to taste it. Tastes pretty good. The frosting actually tastes probably infinitely better. It's worth mentioning that I pretty much used all the frosting that was in here. It tastes infinitely better when it's all like, it's drier and it's all settled in after you've already applied it. There's like a bunch of different flavors going on there. I can't say I hated doing that. It was a little frustrating at points, but the least you can do is to barrel right through it and to continue to finish on what you started, to build upon, literally in a sense, on what you started. I don't know, I don't think I'm going to be eating this all by myself because, I mean, look, if I finish this all not having diabetes, I certainly will by the end of it. So, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed watching this and wish you all a very happy Halloween. If I post this late at all, then it'll already be November, so that message would go right out the window. But assuming all goes well, yeah, I'll see you in the next video, whenever the hell that'll be.